Presented by Shenanigan Sports Pub.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another week, another Monday, another football post-mortem. But today, coming from my favorite football and sports emporium, Shenanigan Sports Pub in Dania Beach, 1300 South Federal Highway. We are joined, as usual, when we're here, by one Patrick Utter, proprietor and Dolphin superfan. But before we get into the action, Pat, and before we say hi to Jeff Defo DeForest, I got to load us up onto the group, and I got to give a big Lunchbox welcome home, Mike Lubie Lubitz. I don't see any fezzes on your heads. I don't see, but how are you? And are you a little bit shaken up after the whole earthquake and I guess things that went on there? But what happened and what was happening and what was the food like? That's the most important question.
There was an earthquake, I think our third or fourth day. We were about 200 miles from the center. We did feel it. It was, my wife, I guess, had felt one when she was in Dominican Republic in her early days. I had never been through one. She freaked out. I, as neurotic as I am, for some reason did not. Because the building swayed a little, I figured if it was really that bad, it would have swayed a lot more. So we were fine. The country actually seemed pretty okay. The rural areas inside the mountains that got hit the hardest.
They got hit.
Where you got the 3,000.
And these are little villages that don't have much.
Like the homes are made out of clay. Like we actually eventually got there. Marrakesh, the one you hear a lot about, actually was fine. It wasn't a lie.
Really? Because I saw photos from Marrakesh, and this is one way that the media maybe distorts.
It's the hurricane stuff. It's the hurricane stuff Defo and I joke about all the time.
Right, where they stand in the knee-deep water and the rest of the city is just fine, and I guess that's what happened in Marrakesh. Thank God. I mean, I'm glad that your trip went off without a hitch. A little insensitive for you to be riding camels and glamping in the, luxury tents while, there's human misery and suffering all around, but that's, par for the Lubie cost.
It wasn't me. It was a trip that was booked. We had a great time. The food was tremendous. The food's really good. I did try Defo's pastilla pie. Which is interesting. It's good, but it feels like it's more of a dessert than a meal. So we didn't know what to do with that, but we had a great time. Our hearts go out to everyone that was affected. It was scary, and it's sort of that dichotomy of the fun we were having with the sadness that can happen, in a random day.
Yeah, it's a big world, and there's always going to be its share of tragedy, and I guess it's just a matter of, life goes. Pat Utter, have you ever been in an earthquake? Have you ever felt the ground, the earth rumble beneath you?
Well, a couple times when I was leaving Vixen's late at night, usually about 8:30, or the Hard Rock. Yes, I felt the ground shake.
Shake and shimmy.
I felt the sky open up. Yeah, I felt all that. No, I've never been through an earthquake. That's one thing I can't add to my resume.
And let me tell you, it's not a good feeling.
It's just weird.
Again, because you can see the hurricanes coming at you, and the earthquakes just come out of nowhere. And depending on how hard it shakes, it can be definitely very unnerving. But we're glad that Lubie's back in one piece, that you had a great trip. And we're looking forward to a great week. We're going to be all over the place this week. But the important thing now is we're here at Shenanigans. And what a weekend of sports it was, Pat Utter.
I don't even know how to I don't know where to start.
Well, you could start by rubbing it in with the high school game of the week.
No. Listen. I don't want to divulge too much, but both programs are very, very. I mean,
we're talking Chaminade Madonna,
American Heritage. And let's just throw in everything. Let's throw in St. Thomas Aquinas and everything.
Yeah,
these are high school programs that are nationally ranked,
top notch.
Yeah. So
kids already have committed to Ohio State, Alabama.
For grown people to even to have it in the discussion just goes to show what a hotbed of sports. More importantly, I'm reading University of Miami is capitalizing on a lot of the top recruits again coming down here. FSU, they did drop from third to fourth, but I mean, even the Gators won in the swamp.
It's a glorious weekend.
It's just
we
been
got
exciting
ranked
all the way
teams
around.
everywhere. Defo,
Marlins 16-2.
Yes,
come on,
that's
everywhere.
the Braves.
Before we get into some of the other, the Dolphins and stuff, just one more note about the Chaminade Heritage game. I know Chaminade ended up they had a 21-0 lead after the first quarter. There was a pick six, and then they looked amazing offensively. But I do want to remind you, kind of like the Boston Celtics coach, that Heritage won the last three quarters 16-7. So if you just break apart that first quarter, Heritage just romped the last three quarters.
I like to bring that up when I go for a run. I do very well for a certain part of
that first quarter.
Yeah,
is
the
always
first quarter.
Brilliant.
I'm off to the races. But it is what it is. Let's just say that a great program. And here's a big thing that we have to say is now there's some boys down in Miami. I say that because they're students.
Yeah,
Miami Central.
They're under
what
18.
What a tremendous.
That's where Chaminade is playing next.
Yeah.
What a schedule! They're playing all these top teams from throughout the region and the country.
The first 5 teams are all.
Defo is always impressed when I start talking high school football. He says I've gone all Larry Bluestein.
You become Larry Bluestein, who some people will be familiar with. But, he's been the lone high school guru here in South Florida for the 42 years that I've been here. I think
he's still alive.
He started when he was 6. Yeah, I saw him on TV the other day. He was breaking down the Chaminade Madonna game.
Usually when they name a park after you, it's when you're dead already. But I'm glad that Larry's still.
I think he had some health issues, but the rumors of his death were a little bit out of line. But no, that's good. You're into it, Mike Mayo. I'm glad you're expanding your horizons there. And of course, Patrick Utter on top of everything. I was thinking this because the question had arisen about sports bars and places I know you had a different term for how you qualify shenanigans. Not a sports bar, but it was what?
We call it a sports gastropub because the
gastropub, yeah,
elevated. I mean, I came in here. Just the crack conch.
The crack conch.
The crack conch.
That was
I
great.
because I think we had it last time we did the show here. And then a certain ex-wife of mine came in here a week ago, and after she hadn't been here, and she saw it was on the menu, and she was raving about it. So
with Michelle in mind and Christine in mind, and all Lubie coming back, do you know that we even have a really good source for falafel that you can add to?
Really?
Yes, we're selling it like crazy. We put a
you
hummus
have falafel
yes,
on the menu, or hummus platters on the menu.
We do.
Mediterranean.
We do. Okay. And I'm telling you, anybody, the old standards, let's say sports bar, sports pub, whatever, a great burger, right?
Yep.
Oh man, the last one I had
chicken wings, pizza. But when you can say like, what are you currently eating? I'm eating an arugula salad with.
I'm getting the grilled
dolphin.
fish, a blackened mahi with a little bit of vegetables on the side because my cardiologist.
That was swimming recently, like as of yesterday.
No,
got a nice dolphin in today.
I don't know if you caught the show last week, but my cardiologist read me the riot act, so that's why I'm back walking 4 miles a day. I'm trying to, and you know what, Defo? Just in 2 days of a little bit of moderation, and this was including the night with the champagne dinner with the foie gras and everything like that. Just after 2 days, I dropped 3 pounds. So it doesn't take
you had been overdoing it so badly, and with the 0.0 exercise that you couldn't help but benefit from even the slightest change. I was going to say though that and Patrick, you said it perfectly that. The food at Shenanigans, I was actually thinking about this on my walk of life as I was trying to figure out, hey, where's the best place to watch football games? And Shenanigans, I mean, the menu there, always outstanding. And everything you guys do is so great that it really does set it apart from what you would traditionally think of as even your best of sports bar opportunities in terms of dining.
And I don't know if we got setups anywhere because, Defo, I don't know if you can see this. Oh, okay. Lubie is holding out. We're back to the old days.
I hope this isn't one of your temporary things, Mike Mayo.
Oh no,
where, it goes for about 3 days.
A
and
lifestyle change where I'm going to be being more healthy, and I will have my cheat days. Usually on Sundays, usually on football Sundays. Maybe I'll sneak in a little bit of a pizza or the beautiful wings that they have here.
Stay out of your freezer also. I would throw everything out that's in your freezer.
Yeah, there's no more ice cream in there except Mom's ice cream.
Ice cream I would consider healthy by standards of the other stuff you keep in it.
But I wish you could see this platter in front of me. I've got a beautiful piece of grilled blackened mahi that smells delicious, and you said it was swimming
Fresh,
not too long
yesterday,
ago.
yep.
Seafood there is unbelievable at Shenanigans. It is great.
It's funny while you're saying that. This is my son, and he's out there.
Oh, they're fishing today.
Yeah,
okay.
The clams. Oh, wow, these are
Okay.
good.
If you turn around this way, they might. Yeah, there we go. He's got some nice big sport fishing going on there.
Ooh.
And again, we love the fresh fish here at
Local
Shenanigans.
fish,
I also
local
got, because
clams.
this is steamed clams that we haven't
here.
spotlighted
You gonna
this.
share these two?
No, just leave it right there. Put it right in the middle. Just leave it in the middle. We're good. We're good. Yeah, we'll get our bearings straight here. Yeah, it's even even during the austere times, Defo, I'm still surrounded by food. It's healthier food, but that's always good. Defo, I understood that you took issue. Oh, here comes the shrimp scampi pizza.
There goes the diet. Here comes the shrimp scampi pizza.
No,
and there
Mayo's
goes
not
the
eating
diet.
anything, supposedly.
That's
Supposedly
a Lubie.
Mayo
That's a
is
Lubie
not
order.
touching it.
Okay, I am not having that cheesy, gooey, shrimp.
I wasn't informed of this diet,
goodness.
so I don't know what to tell you. You should have told me.
That's it.
Last month, I helped myself to your patty melt.
Look at that. That's you got
This
a
is
tuna
the
melt
tuna
today.
melt. Sarni
Oh,
always
tuna
talks
melt.
about this.
Honor Jim
tuna
Sarni
melt.
is off in the wings. Our I guess our what is he, programming whisperer or
Yeah,
something?
like
He's
a
always
yes.
saying, "We got to talk about the
Producer
Marlins
slash
today. We got to
programmer."
talk about the Marlins today." No,
Yeah.
it's a football Monday. We got a twin bill of Monday Night Football tonight here and everywhere, but this is the place to be, right, Pat Utter?
Well, you know, it's funny because he was asking very pertinent questions.
Oh, Jim Sarni
Jim,
was probing
Very,
as usual.
Yeah.
He loves the Liberty tonight, laying the points in the WNBA playoffs. You might want to invest, Patrick. And,
Well, he loves
you
the
might not
ones.
have to work anymore.
Okay, so anyway, Jim, it's very complex how we have to become sports fans now. So the sports pubs and the sports venues have to kind of keep up with it. Now the Hard Rock is coming up with gambling, right?
Yeah, but let's
sports
talk
book.
about what we were talking about is how in the old days it would be, all you would have is
Channel
one
4,
TV
7,
in the
and 10.
corner,
Yeah.
and you would have one game coming in at one time. There was no
Right.
such thing as a full package.
No.
And then you would, just whatever was there would be on in the corner, and the guys would be drinking their beer and maybe have a little action on that particular game. But nowadays, everybody expects everything, and they're everywhere. You have to have Amazon. You have to have the YouTube package. You have to have all the other channels. How does that work? And you got to pay the licensing?
I don't know. I don't know if people are aware of it, but most people financially aren't doing super well. Okay. So this push for more money from the working class guy, they're coming here. I mean, they come.
What's good for you then?
They're going to come in and say, "Look, I can see every game here. I can come at 1:00 kickoff. It's at a state fan or whatever it is." So they're not doing it. They come to me and say, "Hey, are we going to have the Philadelphia Eagles on Thursday?" Yeah, I'll be here. So it's
And do you
it's a
employ
two-headed sword.
tech people? Because Amazon, I don't know. I can't find it. Sometimes I can get it on my TV at home if I punch the right buttons and remembers Michelle's password. But you've got to have everything loaded up. Ready.
I have an in-house tech guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do. I have to have somebody very knowledgeable.
Oh, look, and your in-house tech guy has actually beamed us up on the big screen. I wish you were here to see this, Defo. I'm going to have to take a picture with my phone
Actually,
because
Devo's looking pretty good. That's why he's getting on you.
he's
been
tan,
exercising.
No, I'm not. I'm on Mayo only for health
Yeah.
reasons. We need this guy to keep going here. He's got a monster working with the Mayo Lunchbox and Let's Eat South Florida, 120,000 people, and he is the divine emperor of the Facebook page. There's no doubt about that. So, well, we need him to stay alive, Patrick. That's just putting it frankly. I mean, this streaming business is all new.
The only thing that I can impart to everybody while we're on this subject is something that was just struck on by your listeners and people that are also on the South Florida Eats and everything. Nobody should say what anything should cost because what they're doing just with the sports package is what you mentioned. For me, is over $10,000 this year
for a season.
So for a season of pro sports.
That's
Okay,
insane.
so when a person
That's a
comes
hefty
in,
cable bill.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I loved many years serving a $9.99 chicken wings and a $8.99 burger.
Yeah.
So nobody can just say, "Oh, I thought this was that," and well, they don't really realize what they're doing. they're driving the prices through the roof.
Yeah, and you got to build
Through
that
the
into the
roof.
cost of your
Well,
food, and of
yeah.
course you got. I don't know if you about your FPL bill, but mine at home has gone up $100 a month from year over year.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. Obviously, the weather is hot.
Somebody has to know something. I don't
So
know.
the restaurants are also having to pay utility bills. They
Yeah.
have higher insurance, just like everybody does. So, I mean, not to have a sob story, because at some point, you do have to price things so that people can afford to go out. But it's a balancing act of, things should cost this. Well,
Yeah,
the days of
can't.
that from 2015 and 16 are over.
it's absurd. It's
But
crazy. It's insane now.
but there's a balancing act of, you got to save up your money to go out for your nights at, watching the football, and then build into, make sure you tip your servers adequately, because that's part of the cost of going out to
So
eat.
lunch planned for a $20 bill, right? Used to be like a $10 bill.
Yeah, you used to get a
Right,
$10
go
lunch.
$10
Now it's
lunch,
20
yeah.
to 25.
Plan
if-
on a $20
depending
lunch,
on
yeah.
how much you're drinking. I mean, if you have a
Oh,
beer
it's
or
not
a
drinking.
Bloody Mary,
It's not drinking.
not drinking.
It's
Okay.
not drinking.
Yeah.
If
So
you got that, that's $7 for a good Tito's vodka or something.
meanwhile, I don't know if anybody's on the chat line, because Lubie is going full Mayo here. He's got a slice of shrimp scampi pizza draped over his tuna melt.
Tried it
It's like they
all
didn't
the
feed
He
him in
survived-
Morocco
no,
or something.
he survived. Come on, an earthquake.
Yeah.
The guy survived an earthquake.
Not just that,
he's
several
visibly
nights
shaken.
in the Sahara. He was in the desert.
He's a
So I don't know what you eat.
The
in
guy's
desert.
been eating couscous with his fingers for the last 2 weeks while riding a camel. I mean, now he's at Shenanigans with the shrimp scampi pizza. Get out of here.
and
I
the
mean,
tuna melt.
Of course,
And,
he's going to take advantage of it.
It's all good, and it's nice to have Lubie back to pick on. It's
Oh, yes,
always
it
good
is.
to, and we did miss
He
you.
seems more relaxed.
He is.
Before he
I
left,
think a
he
little
seemed-
vacation. So
Before he left, he seemed a little
Yeah.
uptight, didn't he? I mean,
It was that two-hump camel.
I mean, now he doesn't seem like anything's bothered him.
no, he's good. And we got people on the chat line. I'm sure everybody is anxiously awaiting the contest drawing today. Defo, we got
yeah.
13 in the hat today.
Wow.
Before
More
we get
chalk
to
at
that,
Gulfstream? Is that what happened?
what's that? Yeah, well,
More chalk, yeah.
chalk at Gulfstream plus a scratch that a couple of people had the scratch horse that reverted to the post-time favorite. So again, 13 in the hat. The favorite that one was Armstrong, which is a good name. Armstrong. Number 8 and the number 4 scratched. The second consecutive week where the winner was the 8 and the 4 scratched, and people who picked the 4 got the post-time favorite, the 8. So they're in the hat if they got the restaurant. Did you know this one? It was in honor of Rosh Hashanah. We went with a old school, like Jewish deli in Hollywood where Joe DiMaggio used to eat a lot with
Deli
his,
Den in my plaza?
what's that?
Deli Den in
You
my
got
plaza?
it right there. Right
Yes,
on the
right.
first line.
Joe
Oh, the
DiMaggio,
guy.
I got pictures of me with Joe DiMaggio.
Oh, that's funny.
Mort used to bring him over, and
Yeah,
Joe
Mo
Riley,
Engelberg
Yeah,
was
he used
his
to bring-
his
well, we used
his.
to call him Mort, but Mo.
Okay, yeah, his
but
lawyer.
He'd bring him over. He used to dine in Westside on a regular occasion.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I got pictures. With
I
me
didn't
and
know that. I
I
knew
have
that.
some really great signed, beautiful things from
That's
him.
good.
He was well. I got
Was
involved
Joe
with
was
the Joe
pretty
DiMaggio.
reserved and could be grouchy at times,
Not
or
at Shenanigans.
not a shenanigans.
No,
he was good.
He would come in there and he loved the fact that I was a big baseball fan and talk. He was always a perfect gentleman.
Oh, you
I
see,
think- I
he got a
think,
little he got a little grouchy with me because one time his rotation was Deli Den, and I didn't realize Shenanigans, and then that
You
place
gotta remember that-
Mamma Mia on the Circle, that Italian place.
But here was a little known secret because I opened there in '92. Juan's Mandarin House with Christina
Oh, yeah,
Juan
Christine-
as a young girl,
Right.
30 years ago.
Oh, we
It
love
was
Juan.
her
that was
dad.
a monster.
Her dad opened it,
Flores.
moved from
Yeah.
Miami to
Yes.
that plaza. Christina
Yes.
Wands was
Yeah.
there for a while before now she's up in Fort Lauderdale on that
Yeah.
strip. But that was a powerhouse shopping plaza.
We were a food shopping plaza. We had Juan's there.
Yeah.
And then we had
Flores
which-
Italian was
and
good.
He
Good
ended up
pizza.
he ended up giving it to his cook Joey, but he went big time. And there was no I
Little
think
food
Deli
history,
Den
but of
was-
course, Deli Den was a little further down on Sheridan.
We're
After, actually, it was on Sterling
Yeah.
after a fire made
Yeah.
it move from Sheridan. We got
Yeah.
into this in the contest. Defo is thrilled by all this stuff, but Deli Den. No, and I meant to
It's all
say-
fine.
and it is a food show ostensibly. I love
Yeah.
seeing
Deli
stuff.
Den was great. You know what? I didn't realize it when the name had escaped me, but I probably had at least a half a dozen clandestine seeking new job radio meetings with program directors. They never wanted you to come to the building because then somebody would start thinking, hey, what is DeForest doing here? Maybe somebody's getting fired and he's got to be replacing somebody. And so they always held these meetings outside. And the Deli Den, they either had tremendous trade out with a lot of local radio stations. And so these guys were eating for free but it was a very popular place. There's no doubt about it. And down the street from, the original Shenanigans.
Yeah, no, and again, the one time I went up to Joe DiMaggio, he was a little surly, just probably because my first question was, "So, what was it like being with Marilyn Monroe?"
Oh, yeah. It's so funny you said that because the next thing I was saying is after he broke up with Marilyn Monroe, you can be a little surly.
No, and that was always a sore point. I never did actually ask him that, but after Marilyn's death, did you know this is apparently a true fact that he sent a dozen roses to her grave every week for as long as he lived.
Oh, wow.
So that was talk about a broken heart.
This is fantastic. We haven't had that. We haven't had this yet.
No,
clams are amazing.
The clams are great. I'm glad. Okay, we got these are the with the steamed clams in butter. I guess these are the cedar
it has
key.
a little. We saute up some olive oil.
It's delicious.
Olive oil, a little garlic, and then we hit it with some butter and some all those good things that you're not supposed to eat here.
Well, I mean, these are the healthier. I mean, this is the lighter side for me anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Because, even though it's got the beautiful flavor with the butter and the olive oil and the garlic and all that stuff, it is,
this is like a meeting for food lovers. I know there's somebody that's going down right here at the table. I just got to tell you.
A lot of variety, Patrick. You
I
really overwhelmed these guys today.
I can hear the eating through these earphones.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into the contest, and I understand that you took issue with 60 Minutes featuring Deion Sanders and his 3-0 Colorado Buffaloes last night. I was watching your morning show.
Oh, yeah.
What's the issue? 60 Minutes?
I just thought, 60 Minutes, they do these profiles all the time, and there's nothing wrong with it. And look, I'm a Deion Sanders fan in a way. I liked watching him play. He was an electrifying player. You may not have liked all of his antics or the braggadocio stuff, but that's all fine with me. And I think he's accomplished a lot. Most people thought he would fail at Jackson State, so here he is, and he's lighting it up at Colorado with 3 big wins
to
start the season. But I just thought 60 Minutes debut of their 53rd season. They have, a moving interview. You couldn't help but well up a little bit when Zelensky was talking about what's going on in the Ukraine to the great Scott Pelley. And then they got this whole dissection of what's going on, the rift in Israel that's causing so much angst and acrimony and violence and different things. And then I'm thinking, all right, so how about a profile of, Pavarotti, some orchestra leader, and it's a guy who's won 3 college football games, won by the skin of his teeth against one of the worst teams in the country, Colorado State.
You just spread the infield. What did he say? He's talking about Ukraine, right?
No, but this is and Israel. The judiciary is the changes.
Go around here and ask what they're interested.
Was that the best 60 Minutes could do for their opening program?
Start with those two subjects.
Here's the thing.
And get back to Deion.
It's always about a mix and a balance. 60 Minutes has always been 2 hard-hitting, serious stories and then 1 light, fluffy piece.
Yeah.
And last night's light, fluffy piece happened to be a sports piece about Deion that actually isn't all light and fluffy. It does point to some big changes fundamentally in college football of how a guy could basically go to a bigger program, basically fire his whole team, stand in front of them and just basically say, get out of here. I don't want you. Yeah. And with the transfer portal and then bring in his own guys, basically move a squad, like the way that Art Modell or Jim Irsay used to do it in the middle of the night with the moving vans from, Baltimore to Indy or from Cleveland to Baltimore. I mean, he just took a bunch of his players and staff from Jackson State, including his son and another Heisman Trophy candidate, and bring them up to Boulder. And now that team has been plugged in and boom, they're lighting it up. They're the talk of the country. So I had no issue with 60 Minutes. The thing was, they featured them last year at Jackson State, and they even said on the intro, this is the first time we've ever done a profile of the same person twice in consecutive seasons.
Yeah, it wouldn't be some guy that won the Nobel Peace Prize or any of this stuff. It's a guy that basically went in there and told all of the kids that were playing before. And I don't have a problem with it. It's a system, and it's just like, people used to cry about the Yankees all the time and the way they went about their business, but the system is what it is. Somebody set it up, and he's within the parameters, the guidelines of the system, but kind of rough when you're celebrating a guy who told 90 kids, get the bleep out of here. There were like freshmen and sophomores, and they were just, feeling their oats there as athletes on the college level.
Oh,
This is America.
Oh,
Yeah,
everybody's
America.
interchangeable and everybody's replaceable
and
now.
listen, it's going on in university.
What happened to the spirit of interscholastic athletics, Mike?
Mr. Amateur.
What about it's all about the kids? Where's Nick Saban on this?
Yeah.
It's over.
Well, let's move from college to the pros. The Dolphins.
Wow.
Hey guys, 2-0. They are
on the road.
They're
Both road
top of the
games.
division.
On the road.
And I just had a couple of thoughts. Number one, I found myself shocked when we were late in the game and the Patriots actually driving to tie it up, because I was like, at no point last night, and this is very, very strange sensation for a Dolphin fan, did you ever feel like this game was in danger of turning into a loss?
No.
And, sure enough, they ended up getting a little help from the refs, because I don't know about you. I don't know how they can put that spot short of that first down. It looks like, on that goofy play. And here's the other thing. In the old days, it would have been Gesicki lateraling it to Devontae Parker for a touchdown that would tie the game. The former Dolphins always would come back to haunt the Dolphins in New England.
Got close.
And now it was just part A, and the big lumbering lineman fell down, and for some reason they gave him a favorable, for the Dolphins. They said that he was short of the first down, even though on every video I saw, it looked like he did hit the front of the first down marker. I don't know, Defo, was that a little weird to you that they got the calls and the breaks even on the road?
I would agree with you in this. I never thought the game was seriously in jeopardy at any time, except, and this has been happening, and it happens throughout the NFL frequently, but all over the board yesterday, games just changing completely in the final minute or so. So here's a Patriot team that's hopelessly out of this thing most of the game, clearly being outplayed and outclassed and outperformed. And all of a sudden, when you're laying 3 with the Dolphins, which was my only win of the games I gave out on one of our shows over the weekend, all of a sudden you're looking up in the sky, and how can I put this gently? And you're screaming, "Don't bleep me, gods of gambling! Don't bleep me!"
Did you have to change underwear there late in the fourth quarter?
I still thought that even if they had made that first down, there was still a long way to go before they scored the touchdown. There was about 30 yards left. Yeah.
Let's go to the positive, and then I'll go, like me, Mr. Negative. The positive was right before halftime. That drive was just beautiful. And I texted you guys, I texted Pat of like, this offense is fun. And that was even before Hill made his way into the end zone. A beautiful pass. And they're fun. And as you responded, they're just exciting. And that was a well-executed drive, right?
Well, yeah, the play calling and the running game being established. And that was a big defensive game. Sacked McDaniels 4 times? You got him 4 times?
The what's the Patriots?
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones. Yeah, Mac Jones.
That's Lubie's favorite player, by the way.
Mac Jones. But it's kind of funny because when I was sitting there somewhat, it's late, I never felt how I felt with the old Dolphins when you turned the ball over with 2 minutes.
Yes.
You just said, "Oh, they're going to lose." Right? They're going to lose.
And this time
this time there's some karma. There's something good going on here. And they kept doing that close up of poor Bill Belichick.
I like it.
Super Bowl.
Belichick.
I mean, he looked like my neighbor who would want to know whose car was parked on a swale. I have a neighbor that looks like him, right? He walks around with the chopped up. He has a New England Patriot thing, and he'll come up, "Hey, you have any idea whose car that is parked on by my house?" That's what Belichick. He looked like
old man.
Like somebody who
his girlfriend had left him. I read in the thing.
Somebody who parked their car right on his
actually,
face.
Tom Brady got into it and he drove to Vegas. I think, on the car.
He can hear Shula laughing at him from the grave.
Yeah,
nobody really can. Like, this is going to take you a long time there, Billy. It's going to be torture.
You could not see a bigger curmudgeon with a messed up head of hair.
I guess has been pointed out somewhat now that Tom Brady has won without Belichick in Tampa.
A Super Bowl.
And Brady has won nothing without. Belichick has won nothing without Brady. They've
gone backwards.
He's a career losing coach in his seasons and games without Tom Brady at the helm.
And I said Mac Jones, but he's almost said to himself, "I'm going to show like how Bill Parcells told us, we don't need Matt Ryan. I'm going to win with Jake Long. Okay, that's why I'm wearing this Jake Long thing. I always remember that. And another thing we didn't touch upon too about Deion Sanders, because what you brought up, Lebo, is so good. Because do you see Danny Cannell that comes out and he's bad-mouthed Deion Sanders, right? This is a guy that, has had his father, Doc Cannell. Yeah. He was the one who said, go with Culpepper, don't take Drew Brees. I mean, he was like, he was like the great orthopedic guy. And Cannell could never even, he wouldn't even be a mention, and he played on some of the teams against Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders, I think that swagger did this for. I mean, that ego and everything. I love seeing it on the Dolphins. I love it. I love it. It's part of America now. If you don't like it,
swagger. Look, everybody got on when they had swagger and they wore fatigues and they had an attitude in the 80s. And now everybody seems to be in love with Deion and his team swagger. So I guess times change. One last note about the Dolphins game, and then we'll do the contest, and then we'll take a break and let Defo go off in his walk of life. But
I can't believe I'm behind you in Miles' walk today so far. That's pretty incredible. I mean, you talk about motivation.
That is the upset of the weekend. Yeah. My one issue with the Dolphins after 2 games is, and this is a question I really haven't heard posed. I did not hear it posed on your morning show with your agent to the stars, Brett Tessler, and John Congemi. Does this team have a kicking issue and a kicking problem?
I hate Sanders.
Oh, yeah. In center.
Missed extra point last week that almost came back to bite him in the butt.
Well, he's now 4 of 13 in his last kicks over 50 yards.
And then yesterday, a kick gets blocked. I don't know if you can pin that on the kicker, but then you also have McDaniel. This is the one coaching issue. I was like, at that point in the game, I was almost saying, don't let him kick the field goal. Either go for 4th down or just do a pooch punt and get him pinned down. So in order to get the tying touchdown, they'd have to go more than 80 yards. But he elected to go for the 55-yarder.
He had the leg. He just wasn't freaking close.
Yeah, you have college kids now winning games with 61-yarders.
It's
totally Tom Dempsey.
At what point
these guys can make those?
Yeah, at what point do you say we need to do an upgrade in kicking?
Well, that kick wasn't horrible, though. I mean, look, the block is not the kicker's fault. The guy comes flying in there. And then it seemed like it influenced him on that next kick.
He's lost his mojo.
I think he's spooked. He's lost his mojo.
When he was coming out there, his face was next to Belichick. They both of them. He looked. He did not look comfortable.
And bring back Joe Nedney. That's what we need. Joe Nedney.
Alindo
Mari. That's what
I saw.
He had his moments. He was good. Yeah. Stoyo. I loved Stoyo. Stoyo was the kind of guy you would have enjoyed.
In here, we've got 13 little nuggets, 13 little slips of representing people.
So I'm going to pull a winner here.
The Deli Den. And
you are.
There's some, previous winners in there.
So
there's
these people not only love sports, they have a food
well, that's what we do at Gulfstream every Friday. You should come out one week for a show there. It's a lot of fun. In the hat this week, Joanne Rosen.
Nice.
Boyle. We've got a couple of previous winners, and we've got anyway, here you go, Pat. Just pick one little nugget there. And you got one? One and one only.
I do.
Open it up and see what we got.
I do.
And the winner for this week's brunch package for 2 at Gulfstream's 10 Palms restaurant is
Maria
Frandina. She is a past winner.
Maria Frandina.
One of the past winners.
She
won, I think, in January. But again, the
Maria. We just had a win from Maria.
She's in. She's in.
She's a winner.
Burl Mayo's in the house. We got Burl and Tracy straight from their weekend stints at Gulfstream. We've got Jim Sarney in the house. It is a lunchbox that's just rolling along here, Defo, and we're going to cut you loose.
My buddy Jersey Kyle says Lubie, once again fits right in with a free lunch. He's back in his saddle and back in heaven. I noticed any number of frantic texts. Not worried about the people that were affected by the earthquake or whether or not things were going well in Libya, but all about, hey, where are we eating for free on Wednesday? He was already in a Wednesday of next week on the free lunch circuit, which is great. Well, I'm envious of you guys, though, because I love the fact that Patrick got that pizza oven. And speaking of Jersey Kyle, he is probably your biggest fan. When he goes in there for any one of your fish sandwiches, whether it's grouper, mahi-mahi, whatever it is that you have, he always says, man, they just do a tremendous job at Shenanigans, and that is sincere and high praise, because this is a guy that eats out at a lot of places, of this caliber, and always says that this is the best of the best. So
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate
We love it here.
that's
And
Jersey
again,
Con. Yeah.
Tonight, doubleheader, Monday Night Football. We've got, I think the first game is Carolina versus New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Second game, Pittsburgh and
Cleveland.
Great
It's not
games.
like the old days where they
No.
do one and then the other.
They're at the same
They're
time.
right on top of each other. It's like the NCAA basketball tournament.
Yeah.
One is on ESPN starting at 7:15. The other's on ABC at 8:15.
Yeah.
So they've staggered it so that you'll watch the first half, then halftime you go to the other game, then you go back for the ending. And
I think that you have to, from their practical point of view, I think including introducing games in Germany and all over the place,
they're starting
I
next
think that they're just looking for new neuron transmitters. Now people have to have two TVs going or picture-in-picture going. Now we're,
I've got the phone and the computer and then the big screen behind it, like I have right here in front of me. So
if I'm here, of course, I can watch all games at all time. So for me, it's a no-brainer. I know where I'll be. But, for the other people, they're like, how am I supposed to watch two games? Do I have to put two TVs next to each other? Yeah.
it's multitasking. It's
It's
a very
crazy.
complex universe
It's
this day and
getting
age.
there. It's like shrimp
Hey.
scampi pizza. Who ever heard of that?
So come into Shenanigans tonight, 1300 South Federal Highway. They're open every day at 11:30 a.m. and they stay
11.
open late night. 11
11
a.m.
a.m. Wow.
11 a.m.
And,
Yeah, we don't care about
They've
that
got
extra
the
half hour.
encyclopedic menu. They also have, late night dining. This is the place to come. Like if you're picking somebody up at the airport and they're hungry, you come right in here, even if it's after midnight, if the flight's delayed, if they had one of those hellacious flights on, I don't want to say any airlines,
boy.
Spirit Airlines.
American isn't much better.
Uh-oh.
That's what screwed us.
Uh-oh.
For the
Well,
American
yeah,
Iberia.
travel has been a nightmare, but reward yourself at the end of a long, tough
Yes.
trip. Come to Shenanigans and unwind. Patrick, I didn't
Thank
tell you,
you.
the last time I was in here, I split a burger with my friend Scott, and we had the wings.
Mhm.
The burger is so good. The
Well,
last
thank
few burgers I've
Thank
got
you.
here have been cooked perfectly to order. They have
Thank
big, hefty, that Angus beef, and it just blows. I don't want to say any names of places that have become iconic, but Le Tub. It blows Le Tub's burger out of the water lately.
Well, the tub
and-
is a different ownership.
Yeah, it's
now.
under
You know,
different
there-
ownership. They've
it's a
changed a
difference.
couple things. They tweaked. I'm not here to badmouth
No, no,
anybody
no,
else.
no.
Everybody has their niche.
Well,
All
also,
I'm saying is that
yeah.
if you're in the market for a great burger,
Yeah.
Shenanigans is the place to come.
Oh, thank you.
And let's we'll take a break. Defo, you want to send us out and then go take a walk?
Yeah. Great job by the Finns last night. I thought it was a dominant performance. So, like you said, I didn't ever really feel like they were threatened, except I literally, to think that they might lose to that point spread or even get a push after all of that would have been horrendous. And it would have put me continuing my Colonel Kurtz-like run of picking games where
The horror.
all I could think about was the horror. That's
The
for
horror.
sure. And it wasn't the horror. And plus, yesterday on the streets, a guy offered to blow the chauffeur for me. I was passing a group
You said the chauffeur
very
because-
obviously, people that had just come from shul or whatever. And the guy stops me. I thought he was asking for directions. I was just ending my walk, schwitzing and ready to pass out. Needed a beer. And the guy says, do you have a few seconds? And I said, well, what do you need? And he says, I want to blow the chauffeur for you. and I was telling Lubie, I don't want to make a lewd joke here, with the Sun Sentinel, but the last time that happened to me, I was in a limousine with a bunch of girls from, like you said, the Vixen, Patrick.
He's steering this. He's going to 60 minutes.
Right off
Yeah,
the
yeah.
stairs.
And all I'm trying to
You're
do is
saying
throw it to a
goodbye
break
every
on a
time.
food show. See you guys later.
Let's take a break.
We
All
love
right,
you.
thanks.
And we'll see you tomorrow, Defo, from the homestead.
Thanks for sharing.
It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me. I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices, served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Beach Cafe. It's a South Florida landmark, and it's one happy restaurant right on the water. Tables literally on the beach. A place where you could dip your toes in the sand, kick back, relax with island vibes, tropical drinks, and live music daily. You know it. It's at One Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea. And of course, it has Chef Chris Nealon and his famed Caribbean Floridian cuisine. With a huge menu with something for everyone. Seafood, raw bar, conch fritters, burgers, sandwiches, salads, deli specials, and of course, that famous Bimini bread. They've got a great staff that'll take great care of you. There's something to celebrate every day. Open 7 days until late. Parking available on site. Happy hour weekdays 4 to 7 p.m. Go check out more at arubabeachcafe.com. Better yet, go in there yourself at Aruba Beach Cafe. Good food, drinks, friends, and laughter are always the catch of the day. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox, Mayo, and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox, Mayo, and Defo sent you. We're back on the Lunchbox. We are at Shenanigans in Dania Beach. Do you call it Shenanigans Sports Bar, Sports Pub, or you just call it Shenanigans Sports Grill?
Sports Pub.
Yeah.
Pub.
But again, I call it a
I like
gastro
saying
pub.
sports pub because when people try to hold me accountable to another criteria, like I'm a fine dining or a fast food restaurant, I'm a pub. That's what I am.
Right, but you put out really good, high quality food.
Thank you.
But this is the place to come if you want to take in a ball game or 13
if you're not
ball
in a hurry.
games.
Everybody's in a hurry.
No,
You got to
and
be like you guys. Look, you spread the whole infield here.
what I love about the
You got everything covered here. You got
What
the soup to nuts.
what I love about the place is that I came in here on Friday night after the football game. I got some cracked conch that was delicious.
Thank you.
And up on the screen is TVG, the races from Remington Park, or
Ooh.
FanDuel TV as they call it now. And I was like, you
Well,
gotta
the owner has a gambling problem.
you gotta
It's
love
not a problem. He doesn't owe anybody, but he likes to gamble.
but you gotta love a place that will have
Covers
some
all
of the
the bases,
late
yep.
racing on, in addition to every game under the sun, including women's sports. That Jim Sarney, who's here, is a big proponent of women's sports. It
So
is the
am
wave
I.
of the
So am I.
future.
So am I.
So yeah, like the last time, I think Coco Gauff was playing her final on the same night that I believe it was the Saturday, so it might have been a UM game. I forget, but everybody was just transfixed by watching Coco play her last couple of games, and those are on kind of some of the smaller TVs outside, but everybody was huddled around them. So, and of course, Sarney would watch a women's volleyball match. He would ask you to turn that on, but
no, I think across the board, for some reason, just a phenomenal shape that the ladies are in. I mean, they're at a whole super level now.
oh yeah,
No,
no,
it's
there's
just incredible.
conditioning and fitness and all that. I mean, some high quality stuff going down. Now, Sarney wanted us to talk about the Marlins. I wish I could. I haven't watched any games. I guess they're still in the hunt, or are they in? Are they actually
They
in
have
a slot for a wild card?
Yes, they're in a spot right now.
Okay,
They're in a
so
spot right now.
so
They beat Atlanta 16-2.
okay, and Atlanta, of course, the best team, but they've
Baseball.
already wrapped up everything.
Yeah, they're playing.
So they're resting some players. So the Marlins, we wish them well. I mean, this is the magical season for all South Florida teams. So if the trends hold, after what FAU and basketball did, after
The Heat in
what
the
the
final,
Heat and the
Stanley Cup.
Panthers did, and
Look,
winning.
the Canes are 3-0 right now.
Canes are 3-0.
Chaminade is one of the best teams
Chaminade.
in the country. The Marlins are in the third spot in the wild card. Just
Nova
swept the Braves.
Southeastern keeps winning
Win a title.
titles.
Yep.
And
We're in a
we
really
got the
a
Dolphins in
renaissance of
first
sports
place.
for us right now. Yeah,
As
Dolphins.
Dave Hyde wrote last week, we have become Boston all of a sudden. We used
Title
to be
down.
the laughing stock, and now all of our
Yeah.
teams are winning and getting
Well, we
conference
haven't had
titles.
titles, as our friend Brian will post, if not here on our show. We haven't won the titles, but for where we were a few years
Oh, yeah,
ago,
we weren't
where
even
everyone
competitive.
was losing, the fact that everyone is winning, sorry, Boston fans, we'll take it.
We weren't competitive.
No, they were bad.
We were bad.
Every
we were
team was
terrible
bad. Every team was
Everything.
bad.
Yeah.
Now things are not just watchable and respectable;
It's fun.
they're exciting and
Yeah.
fun. I mean, FSU, that game got a little too exciting for your comfort
No, it's a
there,
joke.
Lubie.
We
But-
don't talk about this defensive coordinator that's complimenting McDaniel.
Oh, Fan-
McDaniel.
Fan-
I mean,
yeah.
this last night, I mean, all the nuances on defense, the way that he had Belichick guessing.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of different things going on there. My son plays defensive end, and we were watching number 43 Van Dinkel and different
that
people.
guy's
I mean,
fun.
he was.
man.
Oh my goodness, this
He's like
guy
a
was
throwback, the long
Oh,
hair.
exactly.
He's
I mean,
running. all-
he was coming from all different angles. That Jalen Phillips was hurt, but you had Chubb
Finally woke
stepped
up,
up in a big way. I mean, the team just having this. There's just a positive vibe all through South Florida.
It's
now.
good. It's good,
Yeah.
and I'm sure it's good for business too. You get those, fans
You don't
coming
want
in.
to know something really silly about this? What I'm going to share with you.
What's that?
Do you know that when we were losers, okay, I have a bigger
Drinking
turnout.
went up.
Yeah, no, but I have a bigger turnout because, as you know,
Exactly.
Right.
I've always
Misery
been
loves
a
company.
No, we've always been a Dolphin bar, right?
Yeah.
So no one really came here except Dolphin fans. So they're like, I'm not going to watch this at home. I'm certainly not going to watch it at all these other public places. I'm going to get harassed. So we always had a great fan base, no matter.
Right.
And
Misery
the same
loves
thing with
company,
University of
but
Miami.
now
University of Miami. Yeah.
Success breeds success.
Yeah,
too.
there's nothing wrong
So
with having some success.
I think,
believe me.
Well,
you know-
actually, there's more animosity back again. The Jets fans hate us.
Oh, good.
It's back again.
It's
Before-
nice to be hated.
Before you didn't really hate us because we were terrible.
Yep.
So
No,
now-
it's nice to be hated.
Now we're
It
in the
means you're doing
conversation.
something right, and the others are gunning for you, which is all good. Hey, I wanted to talk one food thing because it seemed like the big brouhaha topic on Let's Eat South Florida,
Oh, okay.
approaching
Okay.
120,000
Oh,
members.
really? Wow.
But
Wow.
one of the big topics of the weekend, somebody posted about how they were at a restaurant, but eating in the bar part of the restaurant. It
Okay.
was them and their, mate or
Yes.
spouse,
Significant other.
Yeah.
and that it was the proverbial where there was like one seat only between them, and then another seat on the other side, and this other couple walks in and asks them if they could just move over, but the request came not when they were just having a drink, but actually in the middle of a full meal,
Yeah, no
like I
way.
have in front of me. And then it just set off this firestorm of like she was like saying, well, what would you do? Would you be a little bit disturbed?
I wouldn't move.
My answer
Once
was,
you get food,
it's like, okay, it doesn't matter. You're still at a bar. All you got to do is shift over one seat and move your plates.
okay, was it just moving to the next seat, or
Yeah.
was it like a whole
No,
thing?
it seemed like it was just sliding over one
Oh,
so
yeah,
that
that's fine.
two of them could get in together.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I just thought it was,
No, it's not optional. Consolidated, old school.
yeah.
If you sit at a bar, curmudgeons sit in the corner. Okay, people that don't want to talk to people, they don't want to meet people,
Right.
they don't want to. They want to put their purse in between them and the bar stool. They do all that at the floor.
Right.
They turn their back and everything. When you go to a bar, a pub, when
Yeah,
you're
you
there,
have to be flexible.
Yeah,
it's
you know,
like sometimes
this is
when you
flexible.
first
Yeah,
sit,
yeah.
there's only 2 seats, and
Yes.
you get them, and then
It
things
happens
open
all the
up,
time,
and then you
Adam.
got to
Yeah.
shift. And now, if it's on an airplane and somebody's asking me to move back 3 rows to the middle seat when I'm on the aisle, I'm
Yeah.
telling them to go, blank themselves. But at a bar, and here's what I wrote:
And
is
then,
that
these same people don't engage in conversation with other people either, right?
Yep.
I get those at the bar. They're
but if-
like,
Brian
this
brings
guy's
up a good
bothering
point.
me.
But
What's he's asking?
If you
He
don't
says,
move, you're costing the bar money. Like you're not
Yeah.
going
well,
to kick people out.
that's
yeah,
not
because
the thing.
then they got to wait, and they might
Yeah,
not.
they're not gonna
wait and
stay.
all
Yeah,
that.
they're not staying.
Okay.
It's just rude. It's not.
It-
It's
it-
not good manners. I
No,
If it
think.
was
you need
one
you need
seat,
to
yes,
accommodate.
that's
you need
easy.
to accommodate.
And what I
Just
said is
flat
that
out.
if I'm the one sitting at the bar with my spouse and
I
I'm
walk in.
asked, I'll just say the
Yeah.
answer is yes, of course, no problem, and
Yeah.
then you move. And then if I'm the one making the ask, I would say, I'm sorry, would you mind so that me and my girlfriend could sit together? If you just move over one, and I know you're in the middle of your meal, I feel bad. Can I? And I'll buy
You'll
you
offer
an
a
extra
drink.
drink. I'll be. And
That's
that's
what
I would do.
we do.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Even if we ask
Ah.
somebody to, like you and Lubie walk in, and there's one seat, and then there's another seat, and a guy could be just like eating, but we'd say, hey, listen, slide over here. You got one coming on Shenanigans. Move
Yeah.
over.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
It's to be accommodating.
That's old school way, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
courteous way. Meanwhile, so this woman, I don't know, she was like, oh, I was expecting it to be 50-50. She took a pummeling because everybody's like, of course you just move over. Like
Yeah.
90% were like, what are you, dense? And then I
She's not a-
realized,
she's not a bar patron.
What do you think?
no, what I
She was
realized,
sitting at the
What do you
bar
think?
because she couldn't get a table.
some people
That's
come
what-
on and post things on the group because they like the abuse.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I realized that, just the same way that some people pay
get
for
married. People get married.
no,
This
Because they like
multiple
the abuse.
times.
you're the
The
one
same-
that's still.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
I
mean,
was gonna say the
who
way.
else? Who else would say except they're not going to move over?
No, I would say the way that some people pay for dominatrixes
Yeah.
to abuse
That's
them.
an
This
ad, yeah.
woman, the nature of her post was like inviting abuse.
I don't think
And,
so.
uh,
I
no?
don't think so.
No,
I think this is an actual thing that happened to this woman, and she did.
she
was
didn't. She
naive.
genuinely
She-
naive.
Yeah, she probably felt somewhat chastised
Yeah,
being there
Oh,
because she.
you would get
Remember something?
Yeah.
How about service animals and all where we're
Oh,
going? Okay, let's
don't
talk about
get
that.
started on that
Let's
one.
talk
What
about
is your
dogs.
policy here? Because
We of course we accommodate
Well,
all service animals.
those are legit.
But
If
now-
there's a
now-
seeing eye
Now,
dog.
do you see what's going on in the casinos and all the?
Oh,
my
yeah,
God.
and you posted also a sign up front saying,
The crazy barking.
now, do you allow the non-service or the emotional support animals
Yeah.
on the patio area?
Yeah,
But
sure.
not inside.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing with emotional support: people that are emotionally needing support usually would think they would have a quiet.
yeah, you don't
animal,
want to be
like
in
a
there.
nice animal, and you need quiet,
Right.
peaceful,
Peaceful, soothing.
So
Yep.
you shouldn't put yourself in a situation where there's raucous bar,
Right,
and
this is a
fun, and
loud
dog's
sports bar.
barking,
Yeah.
and all the rest of it. You go outside and relax.
Well, you have
Yeah.
a sign
Yeah.
that's saying,
Yeah.
service animals obviously are always allowed if they're genuine service
Yeah,
animals.
of course.
But if they're the, the
Children,
bogus, these have been big talking topics on the group. And my brother had an incident last week at Joey Aventura, this new restaurant that
Oh,
opened.
I heard nice
and-
things about it.
And he had a nice meal. He was there with some old college buddy. There was
Right.
4 of them, and then the very next table, indoors, inside the dining room,
Barking.
a big dog get a party with a kind of a, I don't know what kind of dog it was,
Maybe
but he said,
menacing, though.
but it was like a menacing dog.
Yeah.
Sat next to him, and then my sister-in-law Tracy just said, "No, I'm allergic. I can't be next to."
No, they
this."
don't belong in there.
And yeah, it's just everything has a time and a place, and
Yes.
that's been a big talking issue. But again, everybody seems to think that the world revolves around
You know
them
the
instead of
dirtiest word in the restaurant business? The
No.
complete filth. No.
I was gonna say
No.
yeah.
the
You know,
place he
so if
hates
you
is
don't
his
want to
favorite word.
accommodate somebody on a bar stool, you want your dog, if you say the word no to somebody, you might as well just open up the floodgates.
Well, you want to be in the
abuse.
yes business, but when
Yeah.
people are asking things that are ridiculous and unreasonable,
Yeah.
sometimes you don't want to say no, but it's like, that might not be the best idea.
Yeah, you can't say
Yeah.
yes so easily.
You know what's good about serving a lot of alcohol and being an Irish place? You know what's really no, it's true. Listen,
People
we
usually
don't really
happy,
care. We don't
people
really
usually-
care.
Oh, okay.
This is the
We don't care.
weirdest thing because this is the weirdest thing because we sit around and people post this and that, and we just laugh because the context of the way it comes across is so foreign. So what that does, it entrenches my drinking boys that this is their bastion. Their last thing. They had a wife that wanted a dog at the bar. They had a woman that wouldn't accommodate them. They had a boss that told them this and that. So they huddle in here. They watch sports. They put their elbows together and they drank Guinness and Irish
haven.
whiskey. And they hang out here.
It's
they
like
cheer.
a man cave, except
they
everybody is
cheer.
welcome.
They
because
cheer when someone doesn't want to move over at the bar.
Yeah.
And someone says either move over or get out. This is the old school here.
Right.
You can't do this.
But the nice part of
you
your
can't do
place
this
is
at the
you've got,
Matchnicks.
besides this sports bar section atmosphere,
You can
you
go
also
there.
have the other side where the barbecue
you're
is
outside.
located, and it's more also family friendly and quieter, and has all the low top tables there. And of course, you got the center breezeway, which is
but
covered
not
by
by
the teacup.
choice.
Yeah.
Not by choice. I like a watering hole. What are you
Well,
kidding
this is
me?
a watering
What do you
hole.
care?
Yeah.
What do
No,
you think?
I mean,
I got to be
it's
honest.
great because you got all the different options.
So I just say to people,
Yeah.
so you won't be coming back, right? That's it. You won't be. You and I read. Yes, I understand. I'm not mildly retarded, so you will not be coming back to Shenanigan Sports Pub. No, you're not.
Oh, don't come back.
Okay,
That's the thing.
yeah,
They'll
exactly.
still come back to bitch.
They'll come back. They'll
You
come
know
back
that.
and give me more.
Exactly.
And you know what I really love is I got a guys like this guy Thomas. He has crafted over a 10-year period 1-star reviews. Okay, they haven't changed.
Here comes the Irish, the grudges.
He comes,
the grudges.
but he,
yeah.
but
he
it's-
goes in there. He
Yeah.
has 10 years of this,
Okay.
and we just sit there. I'm like, this is perfect.
Some people,
This is perfect. This is what we love.
some people love being miserable
And then he
people.
comes back.
And
I
the
just
Irish
play
are
one on-
impervious to
I
this.
just play a miserable person on the internet. I actually, I'm one of those people who love life and love
Yes,
good
you do.
places and
You're very much
enjoy
so.
a good time,
but
good
you're-
food, good
But you're-
camaraderie.
You're living.
Good-
You're living by the seat of your pants. You're thinking of horse racing. You're thinking of eating
Poker
shrimp scampi.
tournament.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm
poker
thinking now of
tournament.
keeping my
You
heart
hang
healthy.
out with fun guys.
Oh yeah,
You know.
I love fun.
You got a
Hey.
guy. You got a guy talking about a chauffeur joke, inappropriate joke. You're
Well,
not-
it is a sports bar, and
You're
there
not
has
a
been the
normal guy.
it has been the home of inappropriate humor in the past.
Oh,
So,
definitely.
and
Shenanigans means mischief.
and I
Shenanigans.
also
It's mischief.
offer the blanket apology to anybody who's been offended, and I have not been monitoring. the
No, no
chat
one's
line,
talking about
but
that.
if anybody's been offended, I
what?
deeply and sincerely
By
apologize.
what?
We didn't get
What
to
the
the
fuck?
punchline. We did good.
I'm kidding. I'm just
We kicked him off.
because people are very very oversensitive, not insensitive. They're overly sensitive about everything.
Well, it was all taken
And it
very
just
well.
Yeah.
anyway, hey, we got to do a little business. The today is Monday. That means it's half price wine night at Tropical Acres. So
Wow, good
before
place.
the Monday night
Good
games,
place.
you could go get yourself a little steak over there, or just have happy hour at the bar because they have half price drinks there at Tropical Acres Monday through Friday from 4 to 6:30, and then come over here and watch the games. We love Tropical Acres. Jack Studiali and his crew have been doing it a long time. They have operated the restaurant for decades. It's been open since 1949. That's older than Defo, Pat. And you've been you're a fan
I
of.
went to culinary school with a guy named John Pappas. He ran the grill there for 35
Oh, yeah. Okay.
years.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
See, everybody
Then he was
is friendly in this
yes,
neighborhood.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody back in the day. You have to remember something with all these new advent. Back in the day when we started, like 35, 40 years ago, restaurateurs were like people in restaurant was like roofers. This was not a job like where Gordon Ramsay yelled.
No,
and
it was
screamed at
blue collar.
A blue collar job.
Yeah,
exactly.
you were working long
Blue collar,
hours,
yeah.
and you were going into the
Under
back and sneaking a cigarette
miserable
when you
pay.
get a break.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You didn't see anybody graduate with honors. and
CIA.
No.
all that stuff.
No.
Although there are, it's changed like everything else. But
Yeah.
you know what?
It's elevated.
Tropical Acres though has, they have stayed the same, old school, great value, great service, and of course those. Steaks, the filet mignons, the prime rib is world famous.
Their seafood's a
And,
sleeper.
well, the
The crab.
$39 twin lobster special, they have
Sleeper.
that
Yeah.
through November, also from Monday through Friday. And that's where you get the twin Maine steamed lobsters along with a salad and a side dish. You can't beat that kind of value. Go on to Tropic Lakers, 2500 Griffin Road, just west of the I-95 and the airport. They're open every day but Sunday. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Yes, sir.
And we'll wrap up this edition of the Lunchbox from Shenanigans after these words.
Want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting? Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
Hey, we're back on the Lunchbox. We're wrapping up the show today from Shenanigans, the place to come for every football game, every baseball game, any sporting event, or even if you hate sports like me. Now, I don't hate sports. I just don't follow it like I used to. This is the place to come because you can just hang out and have a good meal and have some good cold drinks. And who doesn't like that? I know Pat Utter likes it. Before we go
Sometimes
today,
too much.
before we go, I do have to put in the kind word for our friends at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. We're going to be there for our monthly remote show this Thursday, and Defo is going away. Guess where, Lubie? Guess where Defo is going?
Marrakesh.
That was one of
Good
us.
one.
That was one of us. No.
You'll never find.
There's 2 places, or 3. He does New Orleans once in a while. It's New Orleans, Vegas, but usually
It's AC.
Atlantic City.
He gets those junkets. He rides in his wheelchair to
He
boost the
doesn't
number
do
because he
a
always
wheelchair.
bets
He
the
doesn't
over on
do the
how many
wheelchair.
people on the junket are going to be wheeled onto
He
the
doesn't
plane.
do the wheelchair.
Oh no,
Why would he bother going?
Why?
He loves
I don't
it-
know.
he
He
loves
loves going.
Atlantic
There's
City.
something about, I guess, the pier in Atlantic City. I don't know. And
Yeah,
it's
there's
Marty,
something bad about it.
one of his
He
friends.
enjoys it.
something
He
bad
enjoys
about it.
He has a good time.
Marty, the party Sachs, is having
70th
a birthday.
Oh,
and
okay.
inviting people to come up there and celebrate. So Defo's going to be gone later in the week, but have no fear, because Thursday at Delaware for our monthly remote show, I think legendary broadcaster Tony Segreto is going to
Wow,
sit
he's
in as a
coming
Our
co-host.
friend who's
co-host.
become a Friday regular.
Yeah, and we love Tony. So Delaware this month, we're going to be in celebration of Oktoberfest. They're going to be grilling up a whole bunch of sausages, and they do all those beautiful,
Nice.
fresh in-house sausages there. The traditional pork sausage, turkey sausage, chicken sausage.
Bratwurst.
They have great selection there at Delaware. I mean, of course, they started off as a chicken and poultry farm, and they're at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. Also, Doug Carter, been around for a long time. Him and his late wife, Elsie, they operated it after they took it over from Elsie's parents. So they've been there since 1962, I believe. Again, I love these old-time, old-school places because they have traditional values, Pat. Again, great service, great, quality, value. If you have a problem there, you can bring something back and they'll say, oh, I'm sorry, this wasn't up to standards, and they'll get you a replacement. That's the way they do business at Delaware. That's why I am proud to have them as a sponsor of the Lunchbox. They're open every day. You can go on to DelawareChicken.com. That's their website for the weekly specials and the daily offerings. Got to talk about their fish and seafood selection. So many, you talk about your fish is always fresh. That's the way Jose, the seafood manager, he is meticulous. He'll send trucks away if he doesn't think it's up to their standards. You get all that beautiful product from the Keys, the Key West pink shrimp, stuff from the Gulf, the snapper, the grouper, and of course, it's going to be stone crab season before you know it. We love Delaware. We'll be there on Thursday. Come on out if you want from 12 to 1 and say hi. Again, just there across from the old Seminole Classic Casino, place that I know you've never been.
No.
You're a guitar guy now. He's all
I've
about.
always been at.
You saw some concerts there last week.
Yeah,
Tell me about that.
Enjoy,
You had
enjoy the menu. I enjoy the dining there, but it's like one-stop shopping. Here's the whole thing. People like you said something very eloquently and beautiful. You crafted every single one of your sponsors on there. Cafe Seville, Tropical Acres, Delaware. Even Keel. Every one of them I frequent and I hold in high esteem. I think they're all great. Now I don't want to say anything negative because nobody can beat them. The Hard Rock should be your next big sponsor because
we're working on
I got to tell you because they've elevated their game.
Oh no,
there.
they're dining.
Everything, they're dining
at the guitar,
experience,
but they're going for a
everything.
national honors. But what we are working on, Pat, funny
What's
you should
that?
say. Well, I invited you to the poker tournament at Coconut Creek because we're hoping to get a deal. We featured NYY Steak last month, but they have a
Did you see they were top rated?
Yeah, number
that
3
steakhouse is
in
fantastic.
the country.
Really?
Yeah, in terms of casino
Okay.
restaurants within casino properties.
Okay, but there's a lot of casinos.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of casinos out there, and I don't know if it was
they're
including Vegas, but
particular.
this was.
I hate to tell you this.
Yeah, what's that?
This is like a nice little gimmick, like we said that we don't care.
Yeah.
New York, I get calls from people that they're just not fun-loving people, and they want to go there for dinner. They don't want them.
No,
They
That's funny.
put a
Put a
tag
mark on
They
their
put a
thing.
mark on them.
Like a
They're
frowny
like,
face,
yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit of a
little
frowny face.
I
yeah.
recommended someone that went there with a few complaints. They tried to get back in, and they're like, "No, we don't want it."
Good for them.
That's how good we are.
Hey, good for them.
Yeah.
Well, they have some really good restaurants at that Coconut Creek
Oh, yeah, they
facility, the Bowl restaurant, which is also at the Hard Rock. That's Eric Douglas. I know Eric. And of course, they also have an Italian restaurant at Coconut Creek. We're trying to, hopefully. Here's the thing, Pat, and you know this, is that I won't just have anybody come on board as a sponsor. You got to pass the Mike Mayo gambling gourmet
gotta
seal of
agree with
approval.
you. Listen. There's not one person that you have on there that I can't that I can say.
Vouch
I
for
mean,
you.
everything from Philly cheesesteaks,
Yeah,
seafood.
no, it's all quality.
Cafe
Different
Seville,
ranges,
Joe.
different different
Now,
types.
are
do a
all of
great
them
job.
degenerate gamblers and drinkers like me, though? That's the question.
That
I got to do a
can't always
background
be said.
search into these people. I don't know what the common ground is. To be honest,
We
with
all enjoy life.
you.
That's the key.
it. Okay.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Pat, as always,
Thank you.
brilliant job. Thank you for the hospitality, the
Thank
great food. I'm going white, beautiful piece of fish, and the broccoli. I left a little. I'll bring some home to Mom.
You can read.
I can eat it. I'll read
it's
all
got
the rest.
that
It's
stuff.
actually delicious. I
Burn
just
it.
I
Put it
went
in
for
and
the
burn it a
fish,
little
and
olive
I'm very satisfied with my beautiful mahi. Lubie, how was your tuna melt?
Well, the tuna melt was great, and I took half and left the other half for
Fancy
Mr.
albacore.
Sarney.
Okay.
The shrimp
128
scampi pizza is one of my favorite dishes in town, and the clams, which I had not had yet, were amazing.
Very, very good. All right. We always like to spotlight the different parts of the menu here, and they are
Very
multitudes. There's this menu, again, we'll have to do an all barbecue edition maybe next month because your smoker and the stuff, that brisket sandwich, that Austin brisket sandwich that comes out with what's on there? It's onions. It's all good stuff. It's just
Well, my favorite is the fat bulldog that's from down the street, but that's for another time we talk.
okay. All right, we'll do it again next month. Meanwhile, come on here to Shenanigans tonight, football night, Monday night, or really every night now between the college games, Thursday. They've got them all on here. They've got the Amazon. They've got the, Sunday night football, Monday night football, all the college games. 1300 South Federal Highway in my hometown of Dania Beach. Come on in. Meanwhile, until next time tomorrow, it's Mike Mayo saying thanks for tuning in and enjoy every sandwich.